If you wanted to become a millionaire in 2024, this is exactly what you should do step by step. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And we are two wholesaling real estate millionaires with thousands and thousands of deals under our belt. And we make millions of dollars every single year wholesaling real estate. And if we were to start from scratch and make no money at all and to go from $0 to $1 million, we want to really share our exact step-by-step blueprint today on how we would do it and how exactly I would do it. Step by step, we got our Spartan formula for it. We got the Spartans behind us because we're going to share exactly step by step how you can become a wholesaling real estate millionaire in 2024. It only takes 1 year to change everything in your life. It only takes this year, right now, to make the complete change for success. It all takes that mental change in your mind that, hey, I'm making a change and everything's going to change. The only way for you to change is for you to make a change. And so we're excited. We're pumped up today. We're going to share exactly our blueprint guide, step by step, everything you need to do. No excuses. No, what do we do here? What list? No, it's all done for you in this exact blueprint guide. Guys, we are going to not hold anything back. We're going to act like you paid $5,000 to hop on this little seminar or webinar type thing. What do you on a boat? I don't care what it is, but we're going to show you how to get rich wholesaling houses right now. So we're excited. We're pumped up. We're ready to go. Guys, it's not that complicated, right?
No, it's the first thing you have to do is you got to make a decision. And so many people in wholesaling, like they're on the fence or off the fence. So a couple tips on this. Number one is don't fall in love with the pitch of wholesaling. Me and Zach are going to tell you it's going to be hard work and we're going to make you wildly uncomfortable. But if you commit to it and you understand it is the way to achieve financial freedom and most importantly, freedom of your time, you have to understand you can't use your old lens, your old mindset, because quite honestly, it didn't work. And as soon as you admit that to yourself and go, okay, that didn't work. Maybe your parents taught it. Maybe your boss taught it. I don't know. Maybe your peers taught it. It's up to you to move forward. And you have to come into this new business model, wholesaling, and understanding for you to get the financial freedom and get freedom of your time, you're going to have to do things wildly different. So what's going to happen is you are going to get uncomfortable. Sorry, I'm just going to tell you up front. It's not going to be physically torturous. I'm not telling you to physically run a marathon, but I'm going to have you mentally race a marathon. And if you do it and you'll commit to it, the problem is as soon as you guys get uncomfortable, you gravitate back to your old habits. And if you can't rid yourself of those habits, you cannot make the change. You're going to have to do it. So if you will come along with this journey, we'll show you how to get it done today, but you're going to have to leave your old personality behind because you're going to get so much better things in your life. And so many are holding all these balls and they're not serving you. So come on over to the other side and find the new balls, which is going to be wholesaling. It's a little statement, but you got to have the guts to do it. So once you do it, you're going to get uncomfortable. Don't go backwards. It's a one-way ticket. And if you embrace it, amazing things can happen in your life. 21 years ago, I made a decision just like a lot of you guys on this live. He made it. And I'm telling you, we're for the better on it. Was it easy? Was it perfect? Hell no. But you've got to understand going forward, if I can do it, he can do it. There's no reason you can't do it.
Exactly. And the one thing I want to tell you before you get started, when obviously he was getting into wholesaling real estate. And by the time I started with him, he was not $1 million wholesaler, right? He was a six-figure wholesaler and just the truth, right? And me, I was only a six-figure wholesaler until I decided to combine my strengths with your strengths together. We started to really scale things up and go insane. And the truth is until I think 5 years ago, we didn't really crack the code on how to make millions of dollars wholesaling real estate.
Consistently.
Well, I mean, made hundreds of thousands of dollars, obviously. And obviously I invested those hundreds of thousands of dollars into assets and that made me a millionaire, but not making millions of dollars every year, if that makes sense. And so once you started cracking the code on scaling and everything like that, it changed everything. And so let's kind of talk about this right now. And really, it took two of us together to crack that blueprint. That's the thing too. I had one part that I mastered and he had the other part. You kind of look at Shaq and Kobe, right? Kobe was great, but there's nobody to rebound and get the defense. But once you combine that, it's over, right? And so we're ready to break it down. Let's kind of break this exact thing down. And again, obviously, not just us making millions, we've taught you guys and so many people to make millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands, all these things. And so let's break it down. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about today because making $1 million ain't a 5-minute video, right? Every guru is going to give you a 5-minute video on this. They're going to call it oh, we got the llama method today. And we're going to, if you buy my llama method course, we're going to teach you with our llamas. If you buy a course, you're going to be with my community of llamas and we're going to make you million. No, it's not that complicated. But you don't need to buy a course on stupid stuff. You just got to get rich. So our $0 to $1 million blueprint. What is this? How do we get it? How do we get rich? Wholesaling real estate beyond our wildest dreams. And so let's talk about this. Let's break it all down. So I'm going to kind of throw you off a little because truly you've been lied to by most wholesaling gurus. They're all here to sell you a course. $0 to $1 million isn't actually the game today. This isn't clickbait. We're going to teach you how to do this. But I want you to understand, a lot of you guys are focusing on that $1 million. That's all you care about. That's all you focus on. That's all you want to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't even made $1 in wholesaling. What?
Yeah.
And so the game ain't $1 million, guys. Okay. The game, honestly, for most people is just make 100K first. Once you master that part, the rest unlocks itself. It gets easier and easier. And what I mean by that is, if you want to be an NBA player, the struggle is to become a starter on a college basketball team. That's 90%, that's 80% of the struggle, right?
Yep.
And so let's just focus on that part first, right? And that's the truth here. Okay. So the game in wholesaling, you want to become a millionaire, obviously. It's not an overnight thing. You got to become a 6-figure wholesaler. First, you got to be a 4-figure wholesaler, then a 5, then 6, then 7, right? And so the game is 100K only. Okay. That's really the brunt of the work, right? And we've helped a lot of people. This is the point where we help most people out and we help a lot of people get to the $1 million. And I can tell you, it is a struggle for most people. I would say 95% of the work to get to $1 million is that first 100K, hands down. When I made my first $1 million in wholesaling real estate, combined revenue after the years and years, that was the hardest $1 million to make. Yeah. And the people like the cigars, the first $1 million is always the hardest, right? But it's true. And so the first 100K is going to be the hardest. And that is really going to be the struggle for most of you guys out here. And yeah, I'd love to have my little suit on and be like, it's all making millions of dollars in systems and automation and probably this. And I can't, that's not generally in my heart the best way for you to become successful. That's not it. That's not the way. The way is, if you actually want to get successful right now, you're going to have to put your 95% of the work into that first 100K. And yes, once you get to $100,000 a year, then you can invest in people, systems, direct mail, cold callers, more texting, and all these great things, more drawing for dollars with not that much work, right? You can do that. But what I would honestly tell you right now is we just got to focus on that $100,000, right?
Yeah. And keep in mind that 100,000, it includes your first deal. So I'm not overlooking it. Trust me, the first deal's mentally the toughest one. And some of you get it by accident. Some of you are still fighting to get it, but it's within that. And the reality is, I've seen over 21 years of wholesaling, if you can complete 5 wholesale deals, you're probably meant for wholesaling. And why do I say that? It is a tough love answer because some people never get past 1. They just don't want to get uncomfortable. It scares the crap out of them. They want the end destination, but they don't want to go on the journey. And that's where you got to be brutally honest with yourself. So if you can get to 5, and you notice the key is, I didn't say get to 5 in 3 months and you're going to make it. I really don't care how long it takes you. It's up to you. Run a marathon. Leave the sprinters behind. You guys are surrounded by sprinters. They're all trying to get you with courses, give you the latest, greatest tricks so you can avoid wholesaling. Sprinters are a huge distraction. Be a marathon runner. Keep your pace. Keep going. So if it takes you 3 months or 3 years, yeah, I said 3 years, get to 5. Once you do 5, I know you're dead serious about this business. You have the skill set to talk to people, to find motivated sellers, and negotiate with them. When you do that, it's so easy to get so 5 will get you that $100,000 on average. And now get the 100 grand to $1 million. It's so much easier. So we got to start with the first deal that's within the 100 grand. And we're not overlooking that. But guys, that is the truth to wholesaling. Most coaches won't tell you that. They just want you to get one deal to get you off their backs. The reality is, I want to get you to 5, but it might be a couple months. It might be a couple years.
Oh yeah.
Different markets, different mentalities, different personalities, but that shows you have the stamina, you got the drive. And there's a certain part of this business, not me, Zach, The Rock, anybody, David Goggins can teach you. You just got to suck it up and do some uncomfortable things. And you got to keep doing it when it's not comfortable at all. The only difference between me And you guys that haven't got deals out there, you just haven't stayed uncomfortable long enough. Because after a while, uncomfortable becomes the norm. And then you find a new uncomfortable. So keep that in mind.
No, I agree. And then one really important thing here, guys, is a lot of people feel like grinding for a year is like a prison sentence. It's like, oh, it's the longest. You talk to anyone over the age of 34 and they'll tell you years fly by. The older you get, the faster the years go. Okay. And it's just a percentage of life lived, right? But like a year's not that bad. Okay. Like
12 months.
Here's the thing. Like I'm telling you, get $1 million in a year. Like it's a grind year. I'm being completely honest with you. It's a grind year, but like most of you guys will sacrifice 30 years of your life. Like that's nothing, you know, like, oh, whatever. Right. Just do a year. Guys, I sacrificed 3 years of my life for the next 67 years of my life. It changed everything for me doing that. And I'm just asking for a year, right? Because I kind of cracked. I wish I had, some more help obviously starting out, but like it's a lot of grinding, guys. Like no one taught me cold calling. No one taught me that the struggles of this. You just got to learn the grind yourself. But once you get that grind going, world's your oyster. And so the first 100K is the grinding. That is it. And so when we're looking to get rich wholesaling, right, we got to kind of have a conversation here. What is the key here? If we want to get $1 million, that first 100K, right, what is the point, right? How do I actually have this skills? How do I do this? How do I get rich, right? Well, let's talk about it. Now, really the secret here, and I'll tell you, because you guys paid me $7,000 to go watch this video, right? No, it's free, but pay me $7,000. This is what I'd be saying still. When it comes to building things out here, it's going to be all about consistency and predictability. That is the name of the game. When it comes to scaling out operations, scaling anything out, or just getting 10K, or say 100K, 10K a month, you have to become predictable, and not in a boring way, but your business has to be boring in a way. What I mean by that is if it's pouring in 10K every single month, that's consistent and it's predictable. And what I mean by predictability is like, if I know if I'm cold calling 4,000 leads on the dialer, right? If I'm using like ZachDialer.com, right? That is pouring in about 10K, about one deal every single month. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 9, but like it's coming about 10K every single month. I know by doing 5,000 leads and skip tracing those leads and calling it, it's just going to bring in 10K. That's predictability right there. Because once you get predictability, scalability is the easiest part from there. What I mean by that is if you know it's taking about 5,000 cold calls to get a deal, all right, let's get 3 VAs, 15,000, boom, 30K. Like it's simple, right? And once you can kind of get that business consistent and predictable, you kind of have a floor of where your business is at. And then guess what happens? You just start raising it up and up and up and up until you can't go over the roof, right? And that's the point here. So in wholesaling, we got to first get some consistency going. And that's the $1 million question. Zach, how do I get my business predictable? How do I get consistent? That's what I always ask. And you ask a guru with their llama method what I should do. And what they're going to do is, oh, you're broke? Okay, this is perfect. Okay. So what you need to do is go into debt, buy my $5,000 course, spend $3,000 a month in this pay per lead marketing funnel system that I'm getting 50% commissions off of. Oops, should have not said that. And then pay that $2,000, but the guy's only going to do $1,000 in marketing because the guy's got to pay the guru $1,000 kickback, and maybe drop out $6 more grand in direct mail, and then maybe do a little SEO. Here's my guy, he's $3,000 a month, and spend about $12,000 a month, and we'll see if you sink or swim. If you do well, then I'll say it's all me, and if you do bad, hey, you're in debt, lose your house, you can't feed your kids. That's your fault. You're just not hustling enough, right?
A funny thing.
That's most of wholesaling.
Someone accused us of, you guys you're kind of low level. You just talk about wholesaling and basic. Yeah. Guys, do you want me to talk way over your head and talk about like targets when most of you are trying to get your first deal and get you your first $100,000? I don't know why people just don't focus on wholesaling, on helping people get started and get up and going. Our focus is from deal one to get you to the first $100,000 because that's the highest failure ratio. This is the biggest vulnerability you have. Talking about all these advanced systems and these crazy lofty stuff. And then worse is when you don't even talk about wholesaling is you need boring, redundant strategies, because this is how wholesaling works. When people make it sound so super sexy, so easy, talking about multi-million-dollar goals. I heard someone talking about 9-figure flippers. Guys, you just need to figure out how to get to your first deal and scale it to the $100,000 as fast as you can.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, like I ain't gonna go speak to you about me buying millions of dollars of multifamily property because it's just like how's that gonna help you? The way I invest is we just buy them cash and then we Airbnb them out or rent them out. And so like, I'm not going to do a whole thing. Like any idiot with $1 million knows what to do if they're smart enough. You just buy real estate, Rent it out, Airbnb, wherever you're at, and make your money, make your cash flow. That's not what we're here to talk about. Because like, okay, step one, make $1 million. And then step two, like how I make $100K a month in my rental portfolio, right? Step one, get about $6 million in real estate. Step two, it's just like, that's not going to help you. That's not going to get you out the mud. That's not going to get you to where you need to be. And honestly, to this point is I'm trying to get you out of kind of where you're at right now so you can start sending me some more wholesaling deals so I can buy more rentals and make more money, flex on more wholesaling gurus that are broke, right? But the point here is we got to get our business consistent. We got to get it predictable, right? When it comes to scaling anything out, even where I'm at now, like I'm trying hopefully this year, right? We're trying to maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hopefully, you know, it depends how many thousands JV wholesaling deals we want to be at, right? That's our goal. We want to get it consistent, right? Yep. Maybe 100, 3 or 4 wholesaling deals a day, right? That's a nice, consistent and predictable thing. And guess what? And then next year, I'll be like, okay,
we're getting there.
Let's do 8.
Yep.
Let's do 16 deals a day, right? Let's get 30 deals a day, right? And like, that's the point. I practice what I preach. I'm just kind of doing a bigger scale, but like, if I'm doing 4 deals a day, okay, that's my floor. Let's try to get to 6 deals a day and then 7 a day. And then obviously you got, because guys, like, this is what I do. Like I go listen to the guru. The one thing I will tell you though, if someone's giving you wholesaling advice, and I'm saying this in the sweetest way possible, if they are running ads, they're giving you advice not to be sweet to you. If that person runs ads, they're giving it because they're running ads because they want a return on their investment. They're not spending $3,000 a day on YouTube ads to just give you nice stuff. They're spending that $3,000 because they want to get a return on that.
Yeah.
And that means when they're giving those ads, they're trying to extract money from you. So you watch this video, you're probably getting ads. Those people are trying to they run ads because they're trying to extract money from you. Even Apple has an ad about their iPhone. They're trying to extract money from you. So just understand this. If someone's giving you wholesaling advice and they're running ads, they're trying to extract money from you and not give you free. They're going to give you a little, just try to get you out the upcut. They're trying to extract money from you. And so I see a lot of people get screwed up in these scaling systems and all these. If someone's running ads, they're trying. And
you're going to get biased information because their first objective is to sell you a course, not to help you.
And so just to this day, we have never run one YouTube ad, one Instagram. I've never done one
crazy?
Ad. The only ad I've ever done were Facebook ads for my wholesaling business to get deals. But I'll tell you that I've never ran any ads.
It's not that great
anything.
either.
And like, why would I spend $5,000 to tell you about wholesaling when I'm just never going to get that money
here's
back?
an idea. Just tell them the truth. Tell them what they need to actually succeed and let the work do what it needs to do.
Their information sucks so bad they got to run ads. Okay, I can rant all day, but like if the person giving you wholesaling advice runs ads, they're trying to take money from you.
Heed the warning. They have one objective to sell you, and like until they sell you, you're not getting a dang thing from them, and you have no idea what they're going to be selling you. So I'm just saying. I'm
only saying this because everyone that runs wholesaling ads. They say, okay, Flip with Rick YouTube channel, run ads on this channel. They specifically do that.
They do it.
Crazy. So I'm just letting everyone know, don't trust it. And if I take ads off, then YouTube right here, they don't promote our channel, which is very weird and sad. And so
we're kind of stuck with the system.
But all right, let's get back to scaling, making money wholesaling real estate, okay? It's about consistency and predictability. Consistent deals come from consistent marketing.
Action.
So just, guys, the brunt of this business is making that first 100K when we make $1 million, but the brunt of making 100K is marketing. All right. Because if you go through the wholesaling course, you know how to negotiate with the seller. You know the scripts and the lines we're telling you. The hardest part is just getting that deal. It's like being an actor. Okay. Yep. What's the hardest part about being an actor? Is it actually saying the script or acting the lines? No, it's getting the role. Getting the role is the hardest part. All right. There's a million actors. And like, I hate to say it, I'm just being honest. Like there's some really good actors out here, but for most people, you put them in any role, like they can act it. I can do a crying scene. I can do a happy scene, angry scene, right? There's some good actors, some bad, but like getting the role is 90% of the effort. Okay.
Smart part.
Saying the lines and so the same thing in wholesaling. Just getting the motivated seller is the brunt work. Saying your lines, your script. Hey, looking to sell your property? Yes. Oh, tell me a little more about the property. Boom, boom, boom down the script, right? Finding a buyer. It's like, hey, I got product. Do you want to buy the product, right? It's simple, right? And so consistent deals come from consistent marketing. This is why do you think we talk mostly about marketing, right? I love seeing wholesaling gurus that are just like, wholesaling is all about acquisitions. And I'm like, no, it's not. Shut up. Okay. It is all about marketing. Marketing is the goal. Marketing is the point. This is what we're all focusing on. It's all about marketing. Marketing 101. Without marketing, you ain't getting any deals in. Any Joe Schmo can negotiate a deal and do some acquisitions. Any Joe Schmo can really sell a deal if it's a good price, right? Dispositions and acquisitions isn't the tough part. It's the marketing.
Always.
It's finding a good wholesaling deal. I'm telling you, an elite marketer that has average acquisitions will destroy a okay marketer that is elite on acquisitions, right?
Very true.
So it's just more shots. And what I mean by that is it's more shots you can take. And what I mean by so like if you're shooting 3-pointers and you are 50% accurate from the line, but you only take 5 shots a game, you'll make 3 or 2 shots, right? But if you're 20% accurate, but you take 40 shots, it's a lot more points you're going to get, right? And so I'm just letting you know, guys, it's all about taking more shots. The more shots you make, usually the more money you make in wholesaling. I want you to understand this. You just get a lot of bad information out here about wholesaling. Consistent deals come from consistent marketing, and you got to do good marketing, right? Here's the flip side. Inconsistent deals come from inconsistent marketing, right? When you stop marketing, the deals stop.
Yeah, because a lot of you, when you start out, you market, you start talking to sellers, you go on appointments, you get a contract or two, and then you get busy. You start spending too much time with the title company. You start doing business cards and logos. And next thing you know, you got a closing coming and you go, crap, what do I do now? I stop marketing. On average, you stop marketing, you're going to wait 2 to 3 months before you even get your next deal under. So I learned this the hard way. He saw it from my mistakes. You have to consistently marketing no matter what you do in wholesaling, because without the marketing, it is the blood in your veins that pumps to your heart. And when that blood runs dry, the pump runs dry, the bank account runs dry, and you mentally get stressed. So this is why we push so hard on marketing. Honestly, I didn't know a damn thing about dispo. I was horrible at acquisitions. My beginner skill set was marketing. And I dialed in, and my first year, all I did was spend my energy on marketing. I JV'd almost all my first deals because I didn't know how to dispo. I didn't want to deal with it. But as I said, you'll master it. If you master marketing first, the rest you can actually learn as you go. So this isn't like school where you go to 4 years and then go, okay, now I'm ready. You actually have to take action, period.
Exactly. So inconsistent deals come from inconsistent marketing. You got to get consistent with your marketing, guys. That's going to be the point here. And so you want bad results, you do bad marketing. This is the point. We got to talk about marketing today, because if you ain't marketing, you ain't going to do well. You got to remember this though, with marketing, right? I can do a whole marketing breakdown, but marketing is predictable. It is so guys, I can tell you, I can know from a majority of you guys out here and gals, how much marketing you've done. I can always predict how many deals you're doing. It's just, it's simple. It's like, it's so easy to tell. For most people, it's your marketing output, like how much volume you're doing, right? And there are different factors, right? There's scripts and other things, but most people's wholesaling business are super predictable. Like it's just an easy formula for me to figure out. Like basketball, how many shots do you take? And if I can kind of guess what your accuracy is, I'll know how many points you've scored. It's simple like that, guys. And so marketing is predictable. If whoever says marketing is unpredictable, I don't know what they're saying, right? And so predictability means with low volume, you're going to get low output, low amount of deals, right? High volume and bad scripts are still a low output. I want you to understand this, right? I think a lot of people get confused when I say this. When I say that you do high volume and you have bad scripts, your output's going to suck. A lot of people are entitled little brats. And what I mean by that is, I cold called 4,000 sellers today. Okay, well, how many of those people picked up? Well, there's 4 people that picked up the phone. Well, you're spam using a terrible script, and this is the worst skip tracing in the world.
Yeah, you got to get.
But I did 4,000. I don't care. Like this business is about quality. Nobody is going to be looking at you and saying, "Oh, you're doing good, champ." Nobody cares. It's all about the results. Okay, it's like bodybuilding, right? You get the people in the gym for 6 hours and they're on their phones the entire time and don't really work out.
The phone epidemic in the gym is terrible.
They're selfie. Oh, I'm grinding, bro. I'm grinding. And they look skinny and terrible, right? And then you got the people that don't post about anything. They go for an hour and they just go nuts, right?
Just go in and do it.
And they go do it, right? And so what you have to understand here is what is done in the darkness will always come to light. And so if you come to me and you say, I do all this great stuff, but I get no results, well, it's like there's a little bit of fibbing going on with me. And I can tell that very well. And so I say, show me the proof. And I didn't do 4,000. I think I did like 400. Maybe
my favorite one is I've tried everything. That is the biggest cop out I've ever heard in wholesaling. As soon as you say that, I challenge anyone to do that. I will take 20 minutes and I'll show you that you haven't even scraped the barrel. So please don't use I've tried everything as a cop-out, because if you tried everything, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Well, in your definition, what is tried everything?
Me?
Yeah. So if someone says I've tried everything, what are you
exhausted every government list. You've done every reasonable paid list. You've done your driving for dollars. Heck, you even went out and did old school knocking on doors. You did reverse driving for dollars. You went to every title company. You went to every property management company. You talked to every realtor and trained them how to find the deals you're looking for. You went and found bail bondsmen. You did the garage sale list that I teach you how to do. You did the arrest records. Guys, it goes on. Did you go to all the Did you cold call? Did you go to all the RIAs and network with everybody? Guys, that list is so long, it'd take you at least a year
digital bandit
to work it. Digital bandit signs, physical bandit signs.
Did you ask everyone in the live stream of our streams if they want a JV? Like, have you done everything?
I'm just saying, guys, you got to, me and Zach always tell you, you've got to be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't get clarity. It's like going to a psychiatrist and lying to him and expecting a different result. If you can't tell him the truth, just like the lawyer, if you are being pressed for a case and you don't tell them the truth, they can't defend you when a surprise comes up. So you're better off to prepare and go, you know what? I get it. I'm making an excuse. How can I hold myself accountable? That's a different conversation. I'm willing to have it. But I've tried everything. I've heard it so many times. I'm like, I know exactly where we're going when we have that quote.
And so what I mean is, you don't get participation trophies in wholesaling. I do not feel bad for you. I look at the results. That's what I look at. And so now there are people, when I love doing one-on-ones, we're going to do one-on-ones today. I know everyone loves those, where people hop on, they'll tell me the problems in their wholesaling business. And I'm like a doctor. Sometimes I have to diagnose issues. And you know what? The reason why I love the one-on-ones is usually there's wholesalers that they're doing the volume right.
Yeah.
They're they sincerely actually are trying their best, but they have one or two things that are just wrong that they subconsciously don't understand. And once I kind of break it through with them, they're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to not do this list, or I should do that list instead. And they do it, boom, everything changes, right? And so it's not a lack of you trying. And obviously I do free coaching for anyone at just StreamYard. Just click the link on the Facebook group, right? I show everyone how to do it. I'll show you how to do it today too. Anyone watching this has an opportunity to talk to me for free.
I call it more wisdom.
But like, what I mean by that is I don't give you participation trophies, okay? I will never give you sympathy for the amount of work you put in, because frankly, there's not many wholesalers that put more work. I bet there are wholesalers that put more work than me. There's other wholesalers that worked way more than me in this year, because everything's scaled out. You do the work, right?
And guys, you're not kids either. Like some of you are young. You're better off getting the truth. There's a great guy. He's all over Instagram. He's a coach of like 14, 15-year-old boys in baseball. And they film him. He goes up to the mound and he just tells the kid the truth. He goes, you throw one more pitch like that, I'm going to send you back home with your parents. And he got a lot of rage on the internet for it, but they're the highest performing team. Why? Because he gets these kids to find the truth and to find a way to fix it. And listen, we all deal with Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, all that stuff. At some point, we have to transition to the truth. Once you know the truth, you can fix any problem. If you can't admit the truth, there's no possibility. Nobody can fix you, not even Tony Robbins. He tells you that. So I'm just understanding at some point, you really have to start accepting the truth. And it's okay. I love the effort a lot of you guys make. But sometimes if you tell the truth, we can pivot and give you tips and things we do to point you in the right direction. A lot of you are just this far off. You just got to shift it a few degrees and go.
So there's no participation trophies. There's only results. That's it. What did you do? And did it result? Like, what happened? And so a lot of you guys just got to get that business consistent, got to get some predictability in there, and you'll be good to go. And so I'll tell you this. Let's kind of talk about the number one issue for people that aren't where they're at right now, that if you want to become a millionaire in 2024. Let me just give you a very interesting stat, okay? So a lot of wholesalers that make 100K a year strictly from learning from me, a lot of them tell me about it, right? There's also a big portion that don't tell me about it. Then they make $500,000 in 2-3 years and they say, Zach, thanks, appreciate it. I know I haven't said a word to you and I'm silent with it, but just thanks. And that's great too. I think most people who get the results don't show checks, or they're just very silent like that. Kind of like me, like, what's I brag? I was making 100K in high school. I never told anyone about that, right? Never told no one. And so what I mean by that is you don't get participation trophies, but if I look at the successful wholesalers, I would say 98% of the wholesalers that come up to me in person say thank you, or send me checks or show me, hey, Zach, thank you. I just want to show you this check. Don't post it or anything, right? 98% of all these people, the podcasts I do of people, I made $500,000 my first year. I made 80K my first month. All these successful wholesalers that I have personally taught, okay, with our methods, right? 98% of them, there's only a few that only went through like half of it, right? But 98, that means after 100, only 2 of them did it or did some. 98% of wholesalers that at least made 100K a year, and especially even large for the $1 million, they went through the entire free wholesaling course. So what does that mean? What can you extrapolate from that? Does that mean you think you're going to be the 2% that, I'm just going to skip it? 98% versus 2. So you got to remember this. If there is let's say there's this big needle, okay? And I'm going to get scary here, but like, let's say there's this clown with a big needle, and he's going to just hit you with it. So that doesn't sound nice. He's going to hit you right in the arm.
You lost me, a clown.
Fat needle, right? It's a little scary, right? A lot of people fear.
Why is a clown holding the needle?
It's scary, right?
Are you talking about the doctors holding the needle?
Yeah, doc. So would you rather do something that there's a 2% chance it's going to happen to you today, or a 98% chance? That there's a 98% chance that clown's never going to even touch you today? Or do you want to do it where there's a 2% chance that the clown is going to
do the 98?
I'll do the 98% chance that the clown with the needle ain't going to go near me today, right?
I don't like clowns.
I know you don't like clowns, and I know you don't like needles. So that's why I said that.
That's like my horror show right there, man.
Like, easy. And I'll use another example if that freaked you out so much, right? If you're going to go swimming in a pool, would you rather there was a 98% chance the pool had a shark in it, or a 2% chance that there was a shark in there? Bull shark. I would do the 2% chance there's a shark, not the 98% chance.
Yeah.
Some of y'all say, nah, I'll take the 98% chance there's a shark. You know why? Because I'm built different.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're edible.
You're edible. And so what I mean by that, and the shark's very hungry, FYI. Some of y'all think, oh, no. You know, I know that 98% of all successful wholesalers through Zach went through the entire course, didn't skip one thing, but I'm different. I'm built different, bro. Go prove it. And when you come up to me and you do these one-on-ones, it's Zach, I'm not successful. I'm not getting anywhere. I said, okay, well, tell me about your cold calling. Well, here's my cold calling script. This is Zach with Zach Home Solutions. And we could talk to our financing department and see if you pass our underwriting skills and the comps. When is that script? Well, I mean, I just kind of came up with my own script. Well, did you watch the cold calling? I didn't watch the cold calling part. And you wonder why you're not part of the you're not part of the successful wholesaler, because you didn't do what 98% of them have done. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But some of y'all will just skip the entire course, and then they have the audacity to take my time out of my day and say, Zach, why am I not rich? Did you do everything? Did you go through my entire course that I laid out with blood, sweat, and tears, and I paid tens of thousands of dollars just to keep the site up online privately with terabytes of data I have to spend on private servers? Yeah. No, F you. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go watch the Kardashians instead with my time. That's what people do. They rather watch their anime, their Kardashians.
Or they'll go like this, Rick Zach, should I do an ovation on this deal? I'm like, do you see that in my course anywhere? Like, what I tell you.
What should my wholesaling schedule be?
It's
all in there.
It's all in there. Like, so I can't. You want me to spoon feed you the course, you're probably not going to make it. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you can't open the course, you're probably going to struggle. I don't care if it takes you 3 hours to open the course, get it. That'd probably be me when I started out. But what I'm saying is you guys sometimes ask questions like, there's no tricks here. The reason I don't train on novations because it's not wholesaling. It has nothing to do with what we do on that.
Destiny says, what about the people who go through multiple courses and still make 40K at a job?
Well, the job's your choice.
First of all, the job's your choice. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Destiny, a job. How much is a job? Job is 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Destiny, I want to know, what do you do for the other? So if there's, let's do this 24, actually do 16 times 7. Okay. 112 minus 40. That is 72 free hours out of the week. What do you do for those 72 hours? Are you watching TV? Are you scrolling through TikTok? Are you messaging your girlfriends? Are you going out to eat? Like, hang out with friends? Are you watching TV? Like, what do you do? Yeah. Do you, and Destiny, I want to know, for the 72 hours, do you sit in silence and meditate? I want to know. I'm very curious.
So
here.
Destiny, I live this exact thing. It's a little bit more than 40K, but I was in hell in my job, and I had to make a decision. It was painful. And so for 1 year, I worked through wholesaling to replace my income. I had to skip my weekends.
Why is she going through multiple courses though?
Well, that's the challenge right there. So Destiny, it's not uncommon for someone like you to go through a paid course or whatever, and then wind up at freewholesaling.com. But you have to make some decisions on yourself because not everyone's teach you is wrong. So you got to look within and find it. I worked an entire full-time job with a ton of pressure and a ton of money, and I did it for almost 9 months. So like I've been in your shoes. It is a decision you have to make. We all chose a path. If it's right or wrong, mine was wrong. It sounds like you're frustrated with it. That's fine. Recognize it and move forward. But 40 hours honestly is nothing. And the average person is only productive for like 2 hours at work. So you got nights. You got weekends. There's plenty of stuff to do.
You got nights, you got weekends. You can also watch the videos while you're eating dinner. You can watch it while you're on your lunch break.
Headphones, stuff
I'm trying. So I always find time to study and read books on business. Destiny, stop reading books on business. You want to get rich. You make $40K a year. Stop reading books. Okay. Yes, I read a lot of books, but I'll tell you this. No book is going to make you $100K this month in wholesaling real estate. No book is going to get you $15K this month. No book is going to show you that. The time the book's written, wholesaling real estate's changed. There's no book on how to ride a bike. Stop with the stupid stuff. I know every person, you got to read books. I got to read 15 books. No, book ain't going to teach you the grind. You just got to do the work for you. Skip the books. Guys, I was not reading books while I was going out here putting bandit signs out and working basically 24 hours a day. I was working probably 15, 16 hours. I wasn't reading books. That wasn't the thing that made me millions of dollars wholesaling. Me putting my work in, learning on the job, and actually going out here and doing it. You ain't going to learn it by reading a book. I see so many books is the key to success. No, it's not. That is some old people yap.
It's true.
Thing. Stop reading a book.
Most people don't complete books. Here's the reality. Say you made 40 or 50K, and I'm not picking on what you make, and I appreciate you being honest, but here's a rule. If you have a book and you spend a year reading it, whatever, and you didn't double your money within 1 year, either you're not taking the actions of that book or you're just reading the book. There's a difference between reading a book and actually taking the actions to accomplish what someone's done that you want to achieve. So if you keep reading books and you're not getting where, you have to change your pattern on how you do stuff. I love books, but I'm here to tell you, books can also be an obligation. You know how many books you can read and pick everything apart from working out, how you eat, how you do business, how you communicate people, how you do your relationships. It's exhausting. And like, I take book breaks. I'm sorry. I like to read, but sometimes the information becomes overload. And like, am I really moving forward with this book?
You got stop with the book, okay?
You need action.
What's better, reading a book for an hour or cold calling for an hour? That cold calling is going to be way more successful in your business, okay? You have to do the work.
Destiny, just look at your previous actions and find
people, and we got books behind us.
I like books, but
I like books. But if that's stopping you from actually learning and doing the action, you got to quit the stupid books. Yeah. I know everyone's, the books is everywhere. It's not anymore. We have social media now. Maybe 1930, that was good. But here's the thing. You know why I like video. These authors, for example, they got, you got any of these books. Most of these people have podcasts that go longer than the book, and they actually break it down in 2023 standards, right?
Yeah.
And it all changes. And I'm just saying, guys, if the books are stopping you from doing action, quit the books. That's my most annoying thing from these wholesaling. The book ain't gonna show. I have a wholesaling book. Oh, great.
Books on wholesaling, I'm going to tell you, they're not very effective. There's just no way to chop it up in a book. Having a course with videos, PDFs, templates, and then showing you how to take action, that's how you succeed in wholesaling. Not a book, not a $10,000 course. It really comes down to you at the end of the day. You got to take the right massive amount of action. So
yeah, so I just ask, what do you do during your day? That's it. And so why do you think you're the exception to the rule? I legitimately want to know why. Why don't you go through the entire course? Is it because you're so busy reading books? You've chosen books over learning wholesaling information that's relevant today from millionaire wholesalers.
I almost feel obligated after I read a book on like an instructional thing. I'm like, my God, I got to implement this. And it can kind of weigh on you. And sometimes you're like, I can't do all that.
You're more book heavy than me. Like I've read a lot, but I'm telling you, I learn a lot better from just having a person talk and speak that read the entire book, ask questions from there. Audiobooks are way better because when I work out for an hour, you can listen to rap or I can listen to that. But I'm telling you guys.
I like to do two things at once with the audio. And you guys, you can use like YouTube and you can listen to it and it works. You can listen to it a little bit fast forward. So like when I read a book, ADHD it, you know what that means? I read it in like a day or two and I just blow through it. It's just how I am. It's how I consume it. I'm not a guy who's going to read 3 pages a day. I just don't do it. It's hard.
I like reading my books, but I'm just telling you, the audiobooks I'm working out. Still, I got to get my rapping working out though. So, all right. You listened to it. We worked out the other day, and I put 21 Savage on, and he was like, "What are you listening to?
You kids these days."
And he got the most offensive one to him was Rich Flex from Drake and 21 Savage. You got so offended from that song. You're like, he's saying
I'm
what?
not offended, but like you hear some of the words coming out. I'm like, listen, I got a daughter. I got a daughter.
He did not like that one.
I'm just like, and he don't like my old school stuff.
I like your old school stuff. I can listen to your stuff. You can't listen to my stuff. All right. I'm just telling you, why do you think you're the exception? I want to know why. The other thing too with wholesalers is, if you're hungry enough, if you are starving and you're hungry enough to actually become successful, I'm telling you, you will actually go through the entire course. But here's the one thing I hate to tell you, I can't make you hungry. Hunger is a thing where it's in the back of your mind, it's there, and the only thing on your mind is not being hungry anymore, right? Yeah. And there's hunger about food, obviously, I think everyone knows that, but there's hunger with not being broke anymore. There's hunger of being rich. And the only thing to satisfy that is actually making a change. And the truth is, I can't make you hungry. Some of y'all, I hate to say it, some of y'all have to get more broke. Some of y'all have to miss some past due bill payments. You're just say, oh, shoot, I got to make a change now. I don't want you to be at that point, but some of y'all need to get to that point before you decide, oh, you know what? I really am broke right now. I really have no money. I guess I can't afford my Hulu this month to go watch the Kardashians. Maybe I should try this wholesaling thing so I can, not be broke anymore, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit of that.
Kim ain't gonna save you.
I can't make you hungry. Sometimes you gotta get so starving that you finally decide to make your change. I can't make you hungry. Some of y'all aren't hungry enough, and that's the saddest part. Y'all aren't hungry enough. Let me give you a quick story. And this is a true story. When I work out sometimes, I work out with some buddies, and this year there's some people that come in the gym now, and it's a small private gym. I love it. And these two kids, they do detailing, and they're like, bro, you have such a nice car. Like, can we detail it? Like, how did you get that car? And I don't talk about many things, but like, it's not crazy, but like, it's nice. But it's like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, it's real estate. And they're like, oh, and then they just every day they're hammering me. How can I start? And I'm like, just wholesale houses. They're like, what's that? I explain it. They're like, oh, and then they pop out 4 gurus. It's hilarious. They only watch TikTok. And I say, just look up wholesaling, and I promise you everything you need's there. That's all I said. Yeah. And I'm like, they'll find freewholesaling.com, right? Literally every week they keep asking me questions. And I'm like, dude, have you looked? I haven't looked it up. And then, the other day they asked, can I be an intern for you? And I'm like, no. They're like, what do you mean? I'll work for free. I'll work for you for free. I'm like, you don't even want to look it up on the internet yourself.
Yeah,
you don't even like
work.
You don't even, why would I even hire you if you don't even want to look it up and actually take an initiative to learn what wholesaling's all about? Like, watch some YouTube videos. I don't want to. And I'm like, just teach me. And then he said yesterday, I swear, he said this yesterday. My buddies backed me up. He said, you sound like really knowledgeable about this. Because I was on the phone he said, you should do a course. Yeah. He said, you should be like this guy. And he showed a guru. I'm not going to say his name. He said, you should be like this guy. This guy's all over the internet. I'm like, I guess so.
Is he or she are they in the country, in the United States?
I'm just saying. Okay. And these 2 kids at the gym, and one day they're going to pop in and be like, I didn't know this. You taught for free. I'm waiting to this day. But
don't tell him.
I don't tell the guy. I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, what's your Instagram, bro? I'm like, I don't have one. And I'm just being nice. But like, if he wants to find it, he'll find it. But These guys, I swear to you, they work out for an hour next to me, and then we talk stuff, right? They're 17. They don't realize that I make millions of dollars wholesaling houses. I teach it all for free. If they just listen, and they're in the perfect market too. They live in Port St. Lucie, and they drive to where I'm at.
And they're right next to you, which just shows you.
They literally work out shoulder to shoulder with me for like an hour a day, and they just don't realize it. And the moral of the story is they aren't hungry enough just to search. You search wholesaling real estate, my stuff pops up. But they're just not hungry enough to commit 30 minutes to actually really looking it up. Yeah. That is the saddest part. And I'm just being honest with you. It's a completely true story. And I cannot wait for that. I will tell everyone about this. But the point is, they just aren't hungry enough. They're literally 2 17-year-olds who want to get rich. They're like, I like what you got. I like this. I like that. How do I get like you? It's the most hilarious thing ever, because they just aren't hungry enough to look it up and see who they're talking to.
That's my test with everyone.
And I don't think I'm like this big dude, but I'm just telling you,
I just give my name and I tell them I do real estate. Why? 95% of the people really don't care what you do. They don't want to do the work. They just want the quickest shortcut. So why am I going to waste my effort? In the beginning, I tried to convert everyone. It was like a religion to me, wholesaling. Now, like if you want it, me and Zach are the best guys for it, but I'm not here to like convince you. Like all I can do is lead and show you how I do it. And if it gravitates for you, then great. But he could sit there and say, oh, go to freewholesaling.com, do this, meet me every Tuesday and Thursday and do this. It would never, ever happen. And that's the reality. And you know what? If you pay someone, you get it for free. It's the same story wherever you go. People just don't want to do the work.
We also have friends and family members that have my personal cell phone number. They call me all the time. We just talk, just buddies, right? Best buddies. These people, they say, how do I get into real estate? I'm just look up wholesaling. They're like, yeah, but can you just like show us? I'm like, look up. They all talk. They want to get rich wholesaling, but they just don't look it up. They don't watch any of it. It's crazy, man. And then I got some buddies that watch my videos that they watch them on the live streams. So they think it's funny because it's Zach, because they know I'm a complete idiot for most things outside of wholesaling. And they're like, we're buddies, right? But like, they'll watch my live stream, they'll hang out with me, but they see all the things I have, right? They'll go to my house and be like, whoa. They'll see all the stuff I got, but still they'll see me go from broke to millions and me having my place and me have all these awesome things, right? And they'll come see all my rentals and they're like impressed, right? They're like, you own this one? You own that? I'm like, yeah. But they'll see all that and they still won't get into wholesale. They still won't do it. And so like, I can't make you hungry enough.
The truth is, guys, is everyone thinks there's like this backdoor or a shortcut in wholesaling. There ain't. Wholesaling doesn't care how much money you have. Honestly, the more money you have, usually the more reckless people are and the more money they lose in the beginning, and you make gurus really rich. And that's one of the reasons you have the proliferation of all these wholesaling courses. The reality is when you come to me, Zach, I don't have a shortcut door for you. In fact, I gave my son the same door I'm giving to everybody on this live stream. Here's the secret. There is no secret. There is no back door. There is no shortcut. You are going to have to talk to a lot of people. You're going to have to learn the art of conversation and how to build relationships. And you're going to have to do it over and over until you get really, really good at it. But period.
I'm telling you,
there's no back door. If I had the back door, I'd give you all the keys right now.
I know. And then the people that will come up to me in the grocery store or wherever I'm out, Zach, oh my gosh, I made this much money, definitely did this and that. And these are just random people. But the people close to me, they don't want to do it. But these random people come up to this. A guy came out of the grocery store. We talked for like 15 minutes. He's a nice guy. He's getting into this with the family. He's flipping houses. He's doing what he's like, oh my gosh, you taught me all this stuff, great stuff. Here's the truth though. Sometimes take who knows me as a stranger, be like, okay, like that degree of separation to actually do it. So what I mean is I can't teach hunger. You got to have it. The people that are hungry will seek me out and they'll do it. Yeah. But the people that aren't, I can't force hunger on you. So let's break down our full blueprint, right? Let's kind of break down. You're broke right now. Now you're hungry and you're ready to go. Let's break this all down and let's share this. And so number one, this is my 300 Spartan blueprint right here. See the Spartan right there? He's got a spear. We are going to be Spartans today. So I love the movie 300, by the way.
Great movie.
We love that movie 300. You know, it's a little fictional, but it's based off the Battle of Thermopylae. I actually can't say the word on there. Based off the hot gates. It's actually a real place in Greece you can go to. It's one of my dreams. When I go to Greece, I'm going there. It's so cool. It's kind of this gate where it's kind of like this little impasse. And basically the Spartans, 300 of them, kind of were at this impasse and they had all these Persians here, right? And they didn't let them pass and they held them off for 2 or 3 days, 100,000 versus 3. It's insane. Yeah. Spartans lost, obviously, because I mean, you can be such a good Spartan, but it's just the overwhelming numbers, right? Mm-hmm. But it was such an inspiring story, right? And the guy, fun fact, the guy that, the last Spartan that died, he didn't die. The king Leonidas, he told this guy, tell everyone in Sparta, run there and tell them that they are going they're going to invade us. And so he ran to the closest city, Marathon, and he ran 26.2 miles to Sparta or Marathon. And he told them about it. He said, the Persians are coming, and then he died after running 26.2 miles.
Perfect.
And so the reason why it's called the marathon is because the guy died doing it. He ran 26.2 miles, said the Persians are coming, and then died.
His last name was a Marathon, was it?
His name was Marathon. He ran a marathon. Marathon's a city. Yeah. It's something like that. But I love history.
I love the 26.2. Why not 26?
That was the distance between the battle or whatever in Sparta or something about that. But it was kind of cool. All right. So that being said, 300 Spartan method. Spartans, unite. And what I mean by this is Spartans aren't weak. They don't give up. They're not little crybabies. They're not, oh, it's cold outside. Oh, I'm working too hard.
No, they were the complete opposite.
No.
They took the boys at age 6.
Took them away.
And they took them away for 5 years to make them a man, like really harden them up. Crazy stuff.
We're going to be Spartans today because some of y'all need to toughen up. Got to get some of my little Spartan training today. And I'll tell you why I call it the Spartan method. Not because you have a tough Spartan, but like let's talk about this. Let's break this all down and let's get this right now. All right. 10 to 15 hours you're going to have to put into wholesaling real estate of income producing activities a week. That is your minimum. So did I say 10 to 15 hours of work? No. Yeah. I said 10 to 15 hours of income producing activities. And I will give Rick Ginn all of your credit here. Dad, he gets all of his credit. He's kind of the one that started separating this. This has separated my mind of there's working and then there's income producing activities and just regular activities. Yeah. And kind of the way you separated it really changed the way that we looked at wholesaling, and it was really cool. But you got to remember this, in a 40-hour work week of, let's say you work 40 hours in wholesaling, only about 15 or 20 of those are actually making you money. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's actually insane to think about.
In corporate America, you do the opposite. You find as many time-killing activities as possible to get through your day because most corporations are so inefficient. So it's correct. I'm just letting you guys know, 10 to 15 hours, income producing. What's an income producing activity? Income producing is activities in wholesaling that will produce income. This is cold calling. This is drawing for dollars. This is reverse drawing for dollars, talking to sellers, door knocking, talking to cash buyers, follow-ups. That pretty much strictly, if it's marketing, talking with a cash buyer, or talking to a seller, that's income produced. That's it. Those are really the only things that really produce income in this. Appointments, obviously, right? But those are really the only activities that actually produce income in wholesaling. I hate to tell you, like nothing else really produces income in wholesaling. So what do I mean by that? So what is not an income producing activity? Comping. I'm going to comp. I'm the perfect comper.
Making a logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comping's what realtors do.
Playing around in list pulling software, skip tracing, networking. All right. Manifesting. There's all this guru stuff. That doesn't make you money in wholesale. I hate that it ain't going to get you rich wholesale. That's not going to make you money. Okay.
Networking will set up the framework, but like you have to preface it, start a relationship, then ask for business. But a lot of you go, oh, can you help? Can I get deals from you? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to you. So networking is a pre-framing, but it's important. Don't get me wrong. But just like when you do cold calling, you got to get a list, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't get a good quality list, you're going to kill your cold calling productivity. So some of the things we talk about like framing. He's talking about actual things that actually generate and put cash in your bank account. So, but there's some things you have to do just to get there. So like, don't skip the stuff you got to do before.
So when I get wholesale, say I comp for 2 hours.
Oh my God, dude!
I spent 4 hours this week networking with local realtors. Like that. That's not
going to get you anywhere.
And I'm the guy. I love networking. That's not income producing. And I'm one of the best networked people. I mean, the gurus. I'm blacklisted, but like talking about legit wholesalers, one of the best networked. And what that means is I can talk to basically any wholesaler that's making over 7 figures. I got a lot of their phone numbers across the entire country. Get a deal done. Because I make the money. I'm not a guru. Now, once they go guru, they don't like talking to me anymore because I'm the blacklist. But I'll tell you, networking ain't going to make you money.
And a lot of you guys are being tricked into networking. I'm talking about wholesaling basic startup. Like, oh, you got to go to my mastermind networking event. Great. Where's the invite? Send me $5,000 and we'll take you on a boat ride. It's going to be a high-end hotel. I'm going to do this big fancy rented house because you're not networking.
It's a course with extra steps.
You're taking a high-ticket course and you're going to pay $5,000 so they can pitch you again. And then they're going to suck you out for the entire year. Like networking both parties should benefit, not just one. But the new code word, it used to be boot camp. Now it's a mastermind. Now it's called a mastermind network. If you have to pay anything more than $100 to go to a networking event, you bought a course. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. I've done it 1,000 times. I'm here to tell you. Ask anybody who's gone to a networking event. Like they go and they're going, it's okay. Like I got a lesson. And just be aware of it. That's all. You're not making money doing that. I'm sorry. You're paying someone else to do it. Now you can go out and build your own natural masterminds just by connecting with people. And it's not as hard. You just got to open your mouth and talk.
And so income producing activity, that's what we're focusing on here. Okay. And so what's the goal here? Right. All right. So we're going to pick 2. Pretty simple, right? We're going to pick 2 lists and we're going to cold call and make sure we have 100 contacts a week. What's a contact? A contact is hello, I'm the owner of the property. And you ask them if they're looking to sell 100 of those. That's it. That's all I'm asking for 100 contacts a week. Simple. Okay. So I have to I have to cold call. I have to talk to someone. No, you know what? No, I'm going to text instead. No, stop being a little baby. I can't say these words, but I got some real opinions on people that are too scared to talk to a seller. You're going to be broke doing this, okay? I'm telling you, all right? Cold call. Now, here's my rule. No off market. Sorry, off market only. No on market. No FSBOs, no MLS.
Is FSBO on market or off market?
It's on market now.
It is on market.
So
sorry, guys.
So if I could search it and there's a picture of it, it's on the market. Now it's on the for sale by owner market, not the MLS market. But I'm telling you, I just throughout these, you can still wholesale a FSBO, but the vast majority of you guys, people that just get stuck in FSBO land, because a lot of people only do FSBOs because they're so scared to talk to a real seller.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to call sellers, so they only text the FSBO. I get wholesalers that they'll just offer $1,000 below the FSBO because they want to get experience. And I used to cold call a lot of FSBOs on here. That's great and stuff. But I do believe the one mistake I made, people became too reliant on cold calling FSBOs. And so off market, that's it. No other ones.
It doesn't mean you can't get a deal from a FSBO or an MLS, but the reality is if you're starting out in wholesaling, that is probably the hardest place that you can start. And the reason you guys are bombarded with courses on it, because it sounds super easy up front. And the reality is you got to do the hard work up front to make things easy to sell your contracts to your cash buyers.
You're 100% right. So cold calling MLS and FSBOs, they're easy up front.
Super easy.
But they're painful at the end.
It's perfect for a course.
It's just like Taco Bell. Comes in good and it comes out terrible.
Yeah.
All right. It's
the truth. Taco Bell. Don't Taco Bell us.
It's the truth. It's like eating your veggies.
It's like Little Caesars too. Same thing, man. My God.
Little
I don't know what they put in that pizza. It looks so perfect. Just so good. Every time I eat it, it's like.
It comes in good though.
It's like 911, man. It's bad.
But it's like eating your veggies. It doesn't taste good going in.
Well,
you got to pump yourself up, but hey, you feel better at the end. And to sell the wholesaling deal, it's like a cakewalk.
So why would we do wholesaling any different if you understand to get the health, to get to the fitness level you want, it's very hard up front. It's the same thing here.
So off market only, okay? And stop being a little baby on the phones. Seriously. Guys, we're talking about your life. We're talking about you getting rich. We're talking about you actually making a change in your life. You being scared to have a conversation with a motivated seller. How are you going to lock up a deal? Tell me, how are you going to lock up a deal over the phone, virtually wholesaling, if you're so scared to even pick up the phone to call them? Guys, it's a problem. And here's the thing, it's a problem that can be cured. Once you make 100 cold calls, you're a lot less nervous.
Zach, what's the worst thing that's going to happen to you if you call someone? What's the worst case
scenario? They call you
a
poopy head.
Poopy head.
Maybe they replace poopy with a bad word. They'll call you a poopy head and that we don't like you. And honestly, I just tell the guy, my mom thinks I'm cool, and that's it. Because my mom does think I'm cool, and that's the only really opinion I really care about.
That's it, guys.
And so stop being a little baby on the phones. Okay. I promise you, I get way more hate every single day on social media than any of you guys will get cold calling. And the only thing I tell myself is my mom thinks I'm cool. That's all that matters. My mom thinks I'm cool. That's all. If my mom doesn't think I'm cool, then that's a problem. But my mom thinks I'm cool, flexing on gurus. That's all that matters. And so I'm telling you, stop being a little baby on the phones. I can change baby to little other words for you. But I'm telling you, you got to do it. Either the courage pops up, and that's it. The one thing I'll tell you, and then we'll get in the next part. Either your fear of being broke, which is a nightmare for me. Like being broke, it's scary. Can you imagine having 3 kids, not being able to feed them? Like it's scary stuff, right? Your fear of being broke has to be greater than your fear of talking to sellers. And if you've never been that broke before, then you don't understand the fear. You got to get to that point, right? I have a very healthy fear of sharks because I've seen sharks rip fish to shreds in 5 seconds, fish that are 300 pounds. I've seen it with my eyes. And so I have a healthy fear of scary sharks. I had to see it in person to really get that fear implanted into me. But I have a healthy fear of sharks because I've seen it. Some of you have to get a healthy fear of being broke. Once you get that fear so great, your fear of talking to a seller, kind of nothing. Guys, it's worst case scenario. They're going to say something mean to you, give you a cuss word, or they don't really know you. They don't know you. It's not, listen, let's be honest. It ain't going to physically hurt you. So that's already removed. Is it going to shatter your ego? Well, I already told you got to lose your ego. So if it's hurting you, it means your ego is too important for you. I'm just telling you, there's basic steps to wholesaling. Your ego, if you want to be all right and accepted and feel important, lose it as fast as you can. And then you won't even blink when you rip through 100 or 1,000 people when you cold call. I don't care when you're done cold calling, you go back to your family and your life. That's it. You got to separate the two. I agree. So stop being a little baby on the phone. That's it. Now let's talk about the other one. We're going to be putting out 100 sticky notes this Saturday, this Sunday. So 50-50. Okay. It's easy when you're a Cowboys fan and your team just pooped. When you're a Dolphins fan.
We don't really have any room to talk, so let's leave it.
Yeah, but Cowboys, they
talked a lot more to a same quarterback at this point.
The Cowboys talked a lot more smack than the Dolphins. That's all I'm going to say. But an Eagles fan.
We knew we were going to get
shout
killed.
out to the Eagles. You feel my Dolphins' pain.
The Eagles was a season.
Y'all have a lot more free time in your hands. So
do we.
What I mean by that is you're a little more freed out right now. Okay, so 100 sticky notes. 50 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday.
And by the way, for you guys, if you cheer for your team massively on Saturday or Sunday, dude, I'm going to tell you, why don't you treat your wholesaling business like that? Some of you go crazy, paint your faces and all that stuff.
I go crazy for the Dolphins.
I do, but I'm just saying, you should have more passion for your wholesaling business than you do for your sports team, because you ain't playing that game, but you're playing a full-time game in wholesaling. So be all in.
Life,
Put on the war paint. Go for it, man. Whatever gets you up to do the cold calls.
That's it. And I always think about this, and this is one thing that always pushes me really hard. It's always pushed me. It's, what will my kids remember me as at this point? How can I inspire my kids when they're my age, if they want to get into real estate and entrepreneur stuff, if I was a little baby on the phones and I never got rich? I'm just, what would your kid, what do you want to be remembered as? Oh, he worked his job. That's great. He was a good guy, but he never pursued his dreams. How could I ever tell my children to go pursue their dreams when they never pursued mine, right? Something inspiring with you is you pursued your dreams. That inspired me to go do it, right? And the truth is, you'll never, ever break the cycle of your family being broke unless you decide to be that person that does it.
Someone's got to break it, guys. I did exactly what my parents told me. I followed the model. The model was broken. And the problem is, I spent a good majority of my life up to 33 believing in that. So I made a radical change, and now you can look back and you can see the effect it has, because it's changed his whole vision. Obviously, it's changed mine, and it's allowed me to do things I never thought I'd be able to do. So if you go, man, I can't do that because everybody else in my family does that. Like, at some point, someone raises their hand and goes, dude, I'm out. I deserve so much more than this. But you're going to have to bring value to the world. What is the best platform to bring you value? I think wholesaling is, but you have to make that decision.
Exactly. And then next one is 100 texts a day. At freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course, we actually show you exactly how to do that. Pretty easy, pretty simple, right? 100 texts a day. That is it. And then remember this, that's 100 texts. So hold on. That's what is that? That's, let me do the math here. Wait. So that's 100 contacts, right? So we got to do, right? 100 contacts. So all I have to do is do 100 contacts. Okay. 200 sticky notes and 100 texts. Where's that add up to? 100, 300. Be a Spartan.
I told you I ain't the brightest cake on the candle. I'm just the hardest worker on the cake.
100 plus 100, but it's 300. It's the Spartan method. 100 texts, 100 called contacts, and 100 sticky notes. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you. 300. That's the point. Either you do it or not, And then I only really need one slide to do this. It's pretty simple, but once you get to 100K, whatever's working in the past, you just start doing more of that. I hate that. So I found out cold calling high equity worked really well. How do you scale from there? What's one of the first things we did? I said, let me text this list. You're like, what are you talking? I'm like, on the internet, there's this thing called Lead Sherpa. Back then it's $200, $250. I have unlimited texting.
Yeah.
Let me just put in my cold calling list. Oh, okay. Sending 5,000 texts a day. I swear to you, at 19, I'm just doing this. 5,000 a day. I was like,
he did.
And I was sending 5,000 texts a day, and the deals are flooring in. And that was back in the good old days when you could just send unlimited text for $250. I was putting the most heinous messages out there, Was there a fire at your house? I was going nuts, but I was getting response. It was great. But that was working. And I just did more of that, right? And I thought, okay, well, we didn't crack the code for a lot of things. I'm like, hey, Dad, we're trying to scale out. What's your favorite list? Probates. And I'm like, how do you do it? He's like, oh, we send these letters out. I'm like, okay. Let me cold call that one. What are you talking about? Have you ever called? I've never cold called a program. Like, okay, well, let me go. And I was cold calling. I was making a ton of money calling. I'm like, hey, here's a bunch of other deals. I'm like, wow, I guess some people don't answer the mail, but don't answer the phones. Wow. Right. And then you're like, well, everyone's sending mailers out for probates now. Well, let me call them and beat the mail. Yeah. So the truth is, it's just
so do both.
Whatever's working in the past, just do that with more volume. more lists, more skip trade. And you can really scale things out, like especially this year with new systems we got, right? And so what I mean by that is you have ZachDialer.com if you want to bring your dialing up to the next level. And I'm telling you, ZachDialer.com, the best cold calling dialer out there, right? It's got the auto spam feature where it turns, and ZachDialer.com, if the number's spam, it'll literally sub the number out, put in a new fresh number, and it checks with the carriers every moment if it's spam or not, which is really cool. You can hire cold callers out. We have our whole tell this is a live video. I'm not a guru, but basically you can hire cold callers. We teach you at freelisting.com how to do that. You can use dmzac.com for free unlimited skip tracing. And so the only thing stopping you is the amount of callers you got, and the dialer can just go all day, every day, three lines. Don't go above 3 lines here you're calling. It's going to make you more spam. But you could go 5-6 lines with the auto spam now. We got to test things out a little more. And then you got unlimited skip tracing. You got the dialer. You're good to go. And then obviously, if you want to start getting some more direct mail, once you get like 5 or 6 deals, you can start experimenting. I would go to the Mailing Mastery course, mailingmastery.com. It's free, by the way. No logins. You just hop it in there. It just pops up, mailingmastery.com. And then last but not least, probably the most important part, send us some JV deals. Sellmypaper.com. Send us some JV deals. We're doing well. We got a lot of deals sent in. If we haven't reached out to you, it's probably hasn't passed underwriting, and we're trying to we got to work on automation of the deal didn't pass. But I will tell everyone, we have a JV deal. We're closing some. We're excited. We got a good amount of contracts out there, and we're excited to just keep expanding that out. And so the reason why we teach you wholesaling is show you how to do it for free. And then like, hey, maybe I should do a JV deal with these guys. They do it around the country. Boom. Do deals with us. Easy, simple, like that. So let's answer some questions, see what we can help the people out. I know this was a longer live stream, obviously, but I truly, in my heart, I want to give everyone the best information possible. And I do not